The investigation into Kendi Howard's death was lengthy, thorough, but it left my office convinced that Dan Howard murdered his wife.
Tonight, a jury agreed with the state of Idaho, saying that former Idaho State Trooper Daniel Howard is guilty. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. We have been tracking this trial since the very beginning and a lot of information about the case in that time. Our Nicole Hernandez joining us live now. She was in the room when that verdict came down. Nicole?
Mark, we're talking about Daniel Howard's trial here. That trial started back on March 4th, so it's been going on for more than 2 weeks now. The jury started their deliberations this morning. Then at about 5:45 this evening, they decided Daniel Howard was guilty of second-degree murder. Take a listen.
Count 1, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of domestic battery? Guilty. Count 2, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of murder in the first degree? Not guilty. Is the defendant Daniel Howard guilty or not guilty of second-degree murder? Guilty.
Howard is now back in the Kootenai County Jail. He'll be waiting for his sentencing, which the judge scheduled for May 23rd.
My hopes is that Dan Howard, as a former law enforcement officer, will spend many, 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 many years in a lonely existence in state prison. That was Sheriff Bob Norris with prosecuting attorney Stanley Mortensen right after the verdict.
The sheriff's office and my office were convinced that this would be the outcome. Otherwise, we wouldn't have charged it.
If you remember, Howard's defense team was arguing Kendi committed suicide, but the prosecution says Howard staged the crime scene to look like that. The jury today agreeing with the prosecutors with the guilty charge for second-degree murder.
We can go into sentencing and ask for up to life in prison. So we are pleased with the outcome.
Mortensen says, though, they have not decided how long they're going to ask the judge to sentence Howard for. They say they're taking everything into consideration, including Howard's arrest this past weekend at the Spokane International Airport and any pre-sentencing investigation documents that come out in the next few months. So investigators worked this case for 2 years before Howard turned himself into police, and this verdict is now more than 3 years after Howard murdered his wife in February of 2021. In studio, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
All right, Nicole, thank you very much. And in our effort to bring you more to every story, we took a deeper look at one of Daniel Howard's convictions. As you just heard, the jury found him guilty of second-degree murder, but not first-degree murder. So what exactly does that mean? Well, in Idaho, the difference comes down to planning and punishment. To be convicted of first-degree murder, attorneys have to prove it was premeditated, meaning second-degree murder is considered more of a heat-of-the-moment crime. In terms of sentencing, Idaho code states anyone guilty of first-degree murder faces either a life sentence or the death penalty if the prosecutor asks for it. In Howard's case, he'll likely be sentenced somewhere between the minimum 10 years and life in prison. And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. A man facing charges of first-degree assault and second-degree murder appeared in a court today on 2 new charges. You might remember this video. More than 2 years ago, Marte Ellis was caught on camera beating a woman in downtown Spokane. Months later, he was accused of killing a fellow patient at Eastern State Hospital. Well, today he faced a new assault charge and a new second-degree murder charge related to that death. His original charges were dropped after a judge determined he was incompetent to stand trial. Tiffany Turner was the woman Ellis is accused of attacking in that video 2 years ago, and she was in court today.
Emotions are everywhere. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry. I'm just looking for some closure.
Ellis's bond is set at more than $1 million. He's set to be back in court next month. Spokane County deputies are searching for a suspected bank robber in Spokane Valley. Deputies say the robbery happened yesterday afternoon at the First Interstate Bank on Sprague. Witnesses say the suspect wore a hat, sunglasses, a mask, and a blue sweatshirt. They also say he had a black semi-automatic pistol and demanded cash. According to deputies, he may be in a gray or silver SUV, such as a Jeep Grand Cherokee or something similar. The suspect is 50 to 60 years old, 6 feet tall, and about 180 pounds. If you have any information on who that might be, you are urged to call that number at the bottom of your screen. And the man suspected of driving the wrong way on eastbound I-90 appeared in court this afternoon. Today we learned he made it all the way from the Idaho state line to Spokane Valley. WSP troopers and Spokane County Sheriff's deputies eventually arrested 56-year-old Paul Reinhardt. Court documents show he allegedly admitted to using drugs and drinking. He is charged with reckless driving, driving while under the influence, and attempting to elude. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All right, let's talk weather. This week's sunshine has been something out of a dream, but it's quickly coming to an end. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy the Good joining us now with how much longer we're going to hold on to this sunshine for. Jeremy?
I think we get a good half day of it tomorrow, or most of the day, and then it's all downhill from there. Temperatures still sit on the warm side of things, 57 degrees right now. That warmth is going to stick around through the night thanks to that ridge of high pressure and all of that increased pressure. Basically, think of it like a pressure cooker. It's been building for the past few days, and that small increase relative to what we might see in a pressure cooker does wonders for us on a mass scale. So overnight, we fall back into the 40s, but stay in the 40s. And tomorrow, seriously, by 11 a.m., we're in the mid-50s. By noon, we're up in the 60s and climbing. That's not just us here in Spokane, but that trend holds strong across most of the region. Those temperatures go from near 40 to up into the 60s, although it's low 60s this time instead of upper 60s and near 70, and then things start to change. Wind picks up Wednesday night, chance of showers returns Thursday. By Friday, it's a chance of rain, and temperatures topping out in the 50s.
All right, Jeremy, sounds good. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. Well, March Madness is officially underway, and KREM 2 is hitting the road. Our Amanda Rowley touched down in Omaha today to track the Cougs. But tonight, sports reporter Andrew Quinn joins us from Salt Lake City to talk about the GU men ahead of their first game on Thursday.
Good evening from Salt Lake City. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have arrived ahead of Thursday's first-round NCAA tournament matchup with the McNeese State Cowboys. And some good news for Zag fans. Earlier today, junior forward Graham Ike was named an AP All-American honorable mention. Congrats to Graham. But now, all the attention for this team turns towards the Cowboys, a team that basically every college basketball expert is picking to upset the Zags in round one, something the team is not really worried about.
I thought that was cool. Everybody has their opinion, you don't say what you want to say, but ultimately we know what we're capable of and what we want to do. So let's just feel to the fire. Cool. I think we're going to lose, all right.
There's not a lot of pressure on us. I mean, the whole CBS crew, I think, picked McNeese to beat us, which is nothing new for us this year. So once again, coming another chip on our shoulder, and that's kind of what we've been facing all year.
We look past that. I don't think, it shouldn't be anything we should be worried about either. So I think we should just look past this, same way we look past the preseason slander, and we should be fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing we ain't heard before. So, yeah, no, that's good with us.
Nah, we don't really care about that, People have been down on us all year, so they can say what they want. We got to go out there and play anyway, so we'll see on Thursday.
We'll hear from both McNeese State and Gonzaga tomorrow. I'll have all your NCAA tournament coverage from here in Salt Lake City throughout the week. Reporting outside of the house John Stockton built, the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Andrew Quinn, KREM 2 Sports.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. By the way, now is your time to compete in the Northern Quest March Bracket Challenge. The contest is open on KREM.com right now through this coming Thursday at 9 a.m. If your bracket does better than KREM 2 Sports Director Travis Green's, you could win a pizza from Papa Murphy's, and whomever gets first place locally wins a prize package from Northern Quest. Plus, if someone has a perfect bracket, they could win $1 million. Fill out your bracket right now on KREM.com. And remember, KREM 2 is your tournament central station, and we are helping you get ready for the excitement. Make sure to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here on KREM 2 for a live Tournament Central special with Sports Director Travis Green. It's all the local sports coverage you need to know for March Madness.